we encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264, VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
Is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health, without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. On VOP TV, we bring you Health Check, a show that x-rays different health issues and provides solutions with the help of experts in the medical field. Join us every Saturday, 2 p.m. on Health Check. Health Check on VOP TV. Your health, our priority.
Voice of the People Television awuchiela o onye nụ ya ka ọrụ ibe ya. Ị chọrọ ịmata akụkọ ndị gbara n'akwụkwọ akụkọ dị iche iche n'ala anyị kwa ụbọchị. Ị chọrọ ịmata ka o si afịatụ na ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị, agụmakwụkwọ, azụmahịa, ime njem, ọbụladị egwuregwu. Ngwa sonyere anyị n'oge ndị Igbo na Voice of the People Television.
Well, hello and welcome to News Hour on Voice of the People TV. I am Vivian Oguche. Before we begin the news, kindly visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Here are the headlines. Presidency replies Kwankwaso, says North not neglected. And federal government denies raising GSS1 minimum age to 12. Tinubu receives class of 1999 governors in Aso Villa. And Echo Disco announces 25-day blackout in Lagos. Gunmen attack Imo villages, many feared dead. And China probes Nigerians' alleged abandonment in CAR or CAR, that would be the Central African Republic. On the foreign scene now, Gaza running out of food for malnourished children. In business news, Lagos ranks second in Africa for nightlife. And in sports news, Tinubu approves full bonuses for Super Falcons. In the world of entertainment, Fireboy 6 intimacy in dopamine. Now in the news in detail. The presidency has dismissed claims by Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, the 2023 presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, as inaccurate. Kwankwaso had alleged during a stakeholders dialogue on the 25th on the 2025 constitutional amendment in Kano that national resources are increasingly being diverted to the southern region, worsening poverty and insecurity in the north. However, reacting to the claim, the special advisor to the President on Media and Public Communications, Sunday Dari, highlighted that the Bola Tinubu administration has initiated and continues to deliver several landmark projects across the northern states. In a post on X, Dari detailed major ongoing projects including the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway, the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway, and the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano Gas Pipeline. He also mentioned a $158.15 million agriculture value chain program covering 9 northern states. The Kolmani Integrated Development Project in Bochi and Gombe, as well as investments in higher institutions and primary health centers. Well, away from that report, the Federal Ministry of Education has dismissed a newspaper report claiming that the minimum age for admission into junior secondary school 1 has been raised to 12 years. In a statement, the ministry's director of press, Folashade Boriowo, described the report as entirely inaccurate. She emphasized that the information did not come from any official source and does not reflect government policy. She urged the public and education stakeholders to disregard any contrary claims. Now, this report says that President Bola Tinubu has hosted members of the 1999 class of governors at the presidential villa in Abuja. The delegation was led to the State House by the former Delta State Governor James Ibori. The special assistant to the president on social media, Dada Olusegun, disclosed this in a post on X. And now to energy matters. President Bola Tinubu has assured power generation companies of his administration's commitment to resolving over 4 trillion naira in long-standing debts owed to them. He pledged transparency and fairness in verifying the claims while appealing for patience. The assurance came during a high-level meeting with members of the Association of Power Generation Companies led by Sani Bello at the presidential villa. During the meeting, President Tinubu acknowledged the severity of the sector's liquidity crisis and promised that the federal government will not shy away from its inherited obligations. In the meantime, Eco Electricity Distribution Company has announced a 25-day blackout in parts of Lagos State. Eco Disco disclosed this in a notice to customers on its X account, explaining that the blackout would commence on 28th July and last until August 21st, 2025, between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. daily. The Disco explained that the outage is to enable the Transmission Company of Nigeria carry out work on the Omotosho Ikeja West 330 kV line. And on the Joint Committee of the House of Representatives, made up of the Public Accounts and Public Assets Committees, is threatening to issue a warrant of arrest against the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso. The committee is probing alleged non-compliance with the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2007 and the Finance Act of 2020, specifically concerning the remittance of operating surplus and the management of unclaimed dividends and dormant account balances. In a joint statement signed by Bamidele Salam and Ademorin Kuye, chairman of the Public Accounts and Public Assets Committees respectively, the committee said it is considering arresting the CBN governor due to his repeated refusal to appear before the joint panel despite multiple invitations. The statement further noted that the Office of the Auditor General for the Federation, in fulfilling its constitutional duty, reported to the House of Representatives a liability of 5.2 trillion naira in operating surplus owed to the federal government for years 2016 to 2022. A claim supported by a separate report from the Fiscal Responsibility Commission to the National Assembly. Well, in another development, an attack by unidentified gunmen on 3 villages in Idiato North local government area, Imo State, has reportedly left several people dead. The affected villages, Undi Ejezie, Umaloma and Undia Kuwata were hit in what authorities have described as coordinated assaults. Confirming the incident, the Police Public Relations Officer for the Imo State Command, DSP Henry Okoye, said at least 7 people were killed. Okoye condemned the attacks as barbaric, inhumane, and totally unacceptable. He assured the public that the command has deployed both operational and intelligence assets to track down and bring the perpetrators to justice. Elsewhere, a total of 27 victims killed in an attack by gunmen in Riyom local government area of Plateau State have been laid to rest in the mass burial. The victims, mostly farmers, including both men and women, were killed on July 15 when gunmen stormed the Bindi Jebu community while residents were asleep. Several others were injured during the attack, with many rushed to nearby hospitals for treatment. Speaking at the mass burial, the chairman of Riyom local government, Bature Shua, condemned the persistent attacks on rural communities in the area. He also extended his condolences to the families and friends of the victims. Well, some politics now. The internal crisis within the Social Democratic Party, SDP, has escalated as the party's National Executive Committee has dissolved the National Working Committee led by the suspended National Chairman, Shehu Gambam. The decision was announced at an emergency NEC meeting held in Abuja, chaired by the party's National Financial Secretary, Ibrahim Biu. Speaking to newsmen, Biu described the move as unfortunate, but necessary, really, after repeated attempts to resolve the ongoing crisis failed. And away from that report, China has expressed regrets over a viral video showing 6 Nigerian miners allegedly abandoned by a Chinese mining company in the Central African Republic. The Chinese embassy in Nigeria said it attaches great importance to the matter and has launched an immediate investigation to ascertain the facts. In a statement, the embassy emphasized that the Chinese government requires all Chinese enterprises and citizens operating abroad to strictly comply with local laws and ensure their business activities fully adhere to local legal frameworks. The miners claimed that after their arrest and release, the Chinese company, Rado Central Coal Mining Company, transported them roughly 850 kilometers from Bangui and abandoned them in the bush for months without pay or provisions. Well, joining us in the studio to make more sense of these stories is Frank Ayala. He is a banker and public affairs analyst. Frank, you are welcome to our studios again.
Good evening.
Yeah, good to see you. We begin with this very first story. So for context, I'm just going to be reading through for you. The presidency has dismissed claims by Senator Kwankwaso, the 2023 presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, as inaccurate. Kwankwaso had alleged that the presidency has neglected the North. Now, during a stakeholders dialogue on the 2025 constitutional amendment in Kano, that national resources are increasingly being diverted to the southern region. Worsening poverty and insecurity, he says, are plaguing the North. What do you think is happening, though?
I think Kwankwaso, for me, is getting it wrong.
So you're saying...
The question Kwankwaso should be asking the current leadership of the nation is, how many projects do they have? How many projects do they have that are being executed currently? Now, I also believe that Kwankwaso was in this country when Buhari used our natural resources to build a rail track to Niger. Kwankwaso never said anything wrong in it. That aside. Then again, this current government as it stands today, which kind of project are they even embarking on? What we hear is Calabar Coastal Line, Badagry dual carriageway to Sokoto. Those are the only projects they constantly mention on where they are presenting their scorecard. For me, Kwankwaso should be asking this current leadership of our country, what resources are they allocating? What project in the south? Kwankwaso should first travel from Benin to Warri to act before he now asks himself, is this government even doing anything at all? Oh, for the first time, he traveled through the road from Abuja to Kano. Then those are what Nigerians are passing through every day. Starting from Buhari leadership, 8 years of Buhari, in Tinubu 2 years. That is 10 years. So it's only one day he went through that road that he's complaining. He should travel from Benin to Warri. He should travel from Benin to Port Harcourt. He should travel from Lagos to Ogun State. It's Ijebu-Ode. Then will now come back and ask himself, is this government actually doing anything?
Yeah, but I want to understand you clearly. Are you saying that Kwankwaso should also be advocating for the South and not just for the North? So you're not saying that he's wrong for saying that the North has been neglected, but you're saying he's wrong for saying the South has benefited.
Kwankwaso is wrong by narrowing to the South. Kwankwaso should be asking the government, what are they even doing at all?
So what I hear you say is that the government is not even performing anywhere, not the North, not the South.
Looking at the volume of money they've spent so far, looking at I think I read in the paper recently, wasn't it yesterday, that they are looking for about $49 million because of variations in our coastal Calabar, Lagos Calabar coastal line. Mm-hmm. We should ask this government, what have they done with 2 years, 24 months in power, with all the resources of borrowing? As we speak, our debt burden is 147 trillion. This is what they met as 72 trillion. What have they done with 72 trillion? This government told us very clearly that they're going to be saving money for the movie subsidy. Rather, we are borrowing more. So, Kwankwaso question should be, what is this government even doing? Not even to say they are diverting our resources to the south. They are not diverting anything to the south.
Yeah, but why do you think Kwankwaso is making this statement right now? You do remember that shortly before he made this statement, he was being touted to be the next VP, that he was going to be replacing Shettima and all of that. There seemed to be, he had been a romance between him and the president. So what do you think is happening?
Is it the president is only trying to please some people, to make APC look like a national party? Then, Kwankwaso was being penciled down to be the next vice president. And the North have made up their mind that power must come back to the North. So, whosoever is working in Tinubu, they are just deceiving our president.
Well, so what I hear you say is this is a concerted effort by the North,
yes,
to ensure that power comes back to the North. So you're saying Kwankwaso is just realigning with his people?
Kwankwaso is realigning with his people to look for something to say, okay, let the nation be discussing this. So that's what I'm trying to advise Kwankwaso. What Kwankwaso should be saying, what we want to hear him say is, what is even this government doing at all? Not to say they are not doing anything in the North. What is this government doing? For 2 years. The first year, they budgeted about 40-something trillion, and this second year, they are budgeted about 56 trillion. If you put the two together, that's about 100 trillion. What can we say this government have done with about 100 trillion naira? That is the one they told us even do. Not the one I was going through a report today that custom for this first half, they rated 11 trillion naira. And we are going to borrow 23 billion dollars was just approved by the National Assembly for the president to go and borrow. So the question should be, what has this government even done?
Yeah, but just the president actually has, the presidency has refuted Kwankwaso's claims, right? This is what Sunday Diary is saying. He is the special advisor to the president on media and communications. And now just take a look at what he said on X. He said that there are lots of projects, including the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway, the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway, and the Ajaokuta-Kaduna Kano gas pipeline, which this administration has embarked upon. I see you hissing, yeah? But this is what he's saying. He also mentioned a $158.15 million agriculture value chain program covering 9 northern states and the Kolmani Integrated Development Project in Bauchi and Gombe, as well as investment in higher institutions and primary care centers.
If that is true, why is our food inflation still up there?
That's $1 billion question.
If that figure is correct, if that figure have actually been put into agricultural value chain, why is our food inflation still up there?
And you're asking because the North actually is the food basket of the nation.
Exactly.
Like especially the North Central.
Like Benue, the food basket of the nation that people are being killed every day. What kind of investment will you put into agriculture that will see the effects? For this government need to deal with the security issues. In your report, 27 people were being buried in Plateau. And you went to Plateau to go and make one of their citizens to be the national chairman of APC. What are you trying to say? The lot of the dead is not important. So,
what was the calculation here? How come you're joining these two events together? So 27 died in Plateau, and then someone from Plateau was made the APC. That's an attempt for us to forget the dead.
Really? You see, yesterday people were appealing that their son is not the national chairman of a party, and the guy was being asked repeatedly by Sheung, what is the ideology of your party? It's a progressive party. What is progressive? It's relatively.
All right.
Everybody is progressive, even to the people.
Your final thoughts as we wrap up this particular matter.
Kwankwaso question should be, what has this government done at all? Not South or not. What has he gone? Kwankwaso should not play ethnic card.
You think that's what he's doing?
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Okay. The question should be, what has this government, as it stands today for 2 years, what can they point to?
Okay.
And we have done this.
All right. So let's take a look at education now. There were rumors flying all over the place not too long ago, which the federal government really has refuted, denying raising the GSS1 minimum age to 12. Just for context, Frank, let me just give you a short read. Now, the Federal Ministry of Education has dismissed a newspaper report claiming that the minimum age for admission into junior secondary school 1 has been raised to 12 years. In a statement, the ministry's director of press described the report as entirely inaccurate. This era of fake news because of, the internet?
This is not fake news.
Oh, okay.
My daughter got admission into a secondary school this year. The first question they ask, how old is your daughter? I say it's going to 11 years. They say, okay, it's 11 years by April, so it can be admitted. If it's not true, then she should tell us what age is admissible. He should tell us, okay, it is not 12 years, it's 11 years, it is 20 years, so that we know. Not just to come at the flute. It's true.
Yeah, but your daughter is 11.
Yes.
And she got the admission.
Yeah, because it's a private secondary school.
Okay.
Private secondary school, not government secondary school.
So you're saying this is not fake news?
It's not fake news.
So why are they denying it?
Then they should tell us. They should not tell us what is obtainable.
Okay. So
the news will become fake when you give me the authentic side of that news. Oh, the one I'm saying is not true. Then you now tell me the truth. If you look at the report, it's not telling us the truth. So it should tell us what the age cutoff for a secondary school.
All right. So
it's not fake.
The onus lies on the government right now.
To tell us what, because you create room for fake news when you are not telling, when the government is not coming out with the original news they want us to hear. You create room for fake news when you are not telling us, okay, this is how it is. Go to so page.
All right.
We'll now say, okay, from this page we can do this.
Okay, so government is listening to you actually, and I hope they come up, they give us a detailed report as to what it is they are doing.
I want to believe you, but the truth of the matter is, what this report is saying is true. They can't refute it.
Okay.
Let's say when it comes to Tinubu and his administration, everything anybody is saying is not true. They are correct because they know where they are going.
Where are they going?
They know where they are going.
Okay, let's just leave it at that. Now, today, President Tinubu received a class of 1999 governors in Aso Villa. Now, the president hosted, these governors in the presidential villa, and the delegation was led to the State House by former Delta State Governor James Ibori. Lots of people are picking bones with this particular, fact that it was James Ibori that led this class of 1999 governors to Aso Villa. Now, the special assistant to the president of social media, Dada Olusegun, discussed this in a post on X. Now, is this such a wrong thing for the class of 1999 to pay the president a visit?
There's nothing wrong in it. But the leader of that team is where the problem lies. Let's look at James Ibori profile.
Former governor of Delta State.
And a former governor that has served 13 years.
A convict who was pardoned by a president. A
convict.
Who was pardoned.
A convict.
Was pardoned by a president in Nigeria.
Correct. I'm not looking at that pardon. I'm looking at the profile of that person. If an ex-criminal, a former convict, who is he leading? He's also leading all those. I don't want to use the word criminal.
You had the likes of former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke.
Yes. In
that delegation. Would you call him a criminal?
I will not.
Good.
Because I have not been convicted. But Tinubu accepting to meet with James Ibori in the open. It's a signal that Nigeria have no hope. James Ibori will be pardoned by law. He's no more a criminal.
So I was hoping you said, so he's no longer a convict because he's been pardoned.
But the money is stole. Has he returned the money back to us?
Well, that's a $1 billion question.
Then again, do you think I will ever trust? Do you think I should trust him? Or somebody that stole my money, for instance, he was pardoned by the law court, and my father said, okay, I don't pardon you. So I will not go through and do business with him. I will not. So that's where the problem. Like, can maybe the class of, what are the class of the governor for 1999? The Tinubu himself. Today, what is his record? A man that you cannot trace to his state of origin, a man that have controversy over his certificates, a man that have problems, that have issue around his age, a man that the first daughter is about 62 years and is about 73 years. So, who are the class of the governor of 1999? You want to see their class. Is it the one that Ribadu told us very clearly that they ought to have been facing the law? That 23 out of those class, according to Ribadu, when he was the chairman of EFCC, was under investigations. Is it those class? So I think the president need to look for better things to convince Nigeria why we should trust him again for the next 4 years. With all this, for me, I don't think he have a direction. What the class of 1999? Give me their name. Donald Duke that almost sold the whole Cross River out under is it what's called that they are around? What's that they are?
It's Tinapa.
Tinapa. That today that is not working.
Yeah, but that was a major project that was supposed to be a huge revenue generation.
But today is it generating revenue?
So is it Donald Duke's fault?
Have you been to Cross River?
Well, not lately.
To go and see the national asset, the state asset that is being deteriorated that they're not using because they can no longer afford the credit. Today they are owing Wema Bank, Union Bank.
So what are you saying? You're blaming Donald Duke for coming up with a brilliant idea.
What brilliant idea that the state cannot fund? What is the brilliant idea there? I have an idea to go and buy a car, put the car on the road, then the car will be generating the revenue to maintain the car and service the loan. Today, you went to fund such a project that the successive government they abandoned it. So the Cross River people money is being lied down. They are paying interest on it. So is it the kind of what kind of advice we done at person like Donald give to Tinubu? No wonder Tinubu is celebrating 30 kilometers out of 700 kilometer road, Lagos coastal line. These are the kind of people that give this man advice. That they commissioned 28.8 kilometer road out of 700 kilometer. That is less than 4.8 kilometer percent. Those are the kind of people that are advising him. Is it the James Ubori that, what would James Ubori advise Tinubu? Not to see that money and take it to UK.
So, it's been said that the problem in Nigeria is a lack of maintenance culture, and a lack of continuity from one administration to the other.
That's not the issue.
That probably might also be a factor why it's not having work.
The problem is corruption is the twin brother of inefficiency.
Oh, okay.
They know. They are very much aware that they will not complete the project, but they needed to take that money so that they do away with some of those money.
Well, that's your opinion, and you know,
it's my opinion.
It's your opinion, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. Yeah, but your final thoughts, though, as we wrap up this particular one. My
final thought is, Tinubu need to be careful of who come visit him in the government house. But the world never forgets on such things.
Absolutely.
The world have not given pardon to James Ubori, but the government, the president have given him pardon. Me, my family, the data people that they stole their money have not given him pardon. So you need to be careful of who represent the people that will be advising him. Very well said. So Ecodisco announces a 25-day blackout in Lagos, right? It's a 25-day blackout. Now, in a statement on X, the disco company explained that the blackout will commence on the 28th of July and last until the 21st of August between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. for 25 days. The disco explained that the outage is to enable the transmission company of Nigeria carry out work on the Omotosho-Ikeja West 330 kV line. Does this make you jittery? Yes. So what happens to businesses and all of that? Because the businesses within these houses, if not up to 40 or 50% of those businesses will not survive. Let's not exaggerate. Yeah, if that happens, the cost of production on those lines go up. Operational expense. Good. As we speak, diesel is about 110 naira per liter, 1,100 naira per liter. If you have to run 40 kVA, that run about 14.8 liter per hour for 8 hours, for 10 hours. Where are they going to get the money from? So, the maintenance we also need to do maintenance. But, what's the alternative? Should they just take it from 5 to 8? From 8 to 5, I think they need to rather do it maybe 4 hours a day and spread it for a longer time. To enable the people, to enable the businessmen, those houses, to ensure not to shut down their businesses. Because the cost of operation, if that happens, it also up the inflation. Because most of our production is coming from that side. Absolutely. Everybody want to go to that side to go and get the artists to come and sell for the mainland. What now happened to them? That's $1 billion question. Yeah, but we need to run. Yeah, there are two things I'd like for you to touch on before we wrap this up. So your final thought is this might just cripple businesses. It will reduce the production capacity on those assets. And that's rather that will push inflation. That's rather unfortunate. Yes. So some very big news was broken today, really. The Joint Committee of the House of Representatives, made up of Public Accounts and Public Assets Committees, is threatening to issue a warrant of arrest against the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadusu. The committee actually is probing the alleged non-compliance with the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2007 and the Finance Act of 2020. Now, the amount that has been referenced is huge. We're talking about billions
of Naira. It's big deal. The CBN has been praised by the president as one of the star boys, you know. But non-remittance of funds, this is not the first time that this is happening.
Non-remittance of funds is a violation of a laid-down procedure.
Absolutely.
And if that happens, it's a criminal offense.
So what are you saying?
It's a sanctionable offense.
So you're saying they should go on with their threats to arrest him?
Yes. Okay. Or they should look for a way to get you to appear, because National Assembly represents the Nigerian people. Why would a body that has supervising authority over you invite you to come and clarify some issue you will not come? That means, you see, this again get back to Tinubu's desk.
How?
When people do not respect the rule of law, we are building a city on anarchy. If this happens, they should go ahead and issue that warrant of arrest and get the police to get it to appear. Why will it not appear if it doesn't have something to hide?
Okay, so I see this is a black and white issue.
It's a black and white issue.
So you're saying either appear or be arrested.
Or be arrested.
Yeah, before I let you go, though, I'd like for us to touch on this very one. And it is tragic, yeah. Unidentified gunmen attacked, what's it called now? And a local government area in Imo State really left less than 7 people dead, about 7 people dead and several injured. Now, this is coming shortly after 27 people were killed in Plateau State. This is just shortly after lots of people were killed in Yelwata in Benue State, which actually preceded another mass killing in Plateau State. This is a recurring event. Is there no end in sight? What do you think?
My heart go for the family of those people. May God give them the gratitude to bear the loss. Then again, this is a failure on our intel. The failure of the security arms of the government. That state has a governor that collects security vote every year. We have security, we have commissioner of police, we have all sorts of police, all sorts of paramilitary and military. The question, where were they while that thing was going on? Because for you to kill 7 people, it takes at least, if not more than 1 or 2 or 3 hours. So what happened to our intel? What happened to our intel?
So are you laying the blame at the doorstep of the intelligence community?
No, not entirely.
Okay.
Now, what has happened for me is an indication that we are living in a country of anarchy, where people do not have value for human life. You then ask yourself again, why would people not have value for human life? What is the issue that will make you go and kill 7 people in a community?
No less than 7. So
no
it
less
looks
than
like
7. It could be more.
It could be more.
Why would they not go and kill when we are burying 27 in Plateau and the government is not flying the nation on a flag for a day? Why would they not go and kill when the president went to Plateau, to Benue? He was asking the police, the IG, that why have the arrests not been made?
And to that, though, a number of people were arrested yesterday in Benue State, and they were called the arms dealers.
How are we sure? Those are actual people. Because we are used to Nigerian police, when anybody, because the president have ordered for them to go and arrest, they can pick anybody. They need to show us those arms they recovered. There must be a report to Nigerian people. These people just leave, do whatever they want, think that Nigerian will accept whatever they put on our table. We are not that daft in this country, please. Why will 7 people die? The governor is still there. The governor is in Imo State. It's in Imo State. Opus Odima, it's on record that Opus Odima did not really rule from Imo. He ruled from Abuja. Opus Odima, he ruled from Abuja. Once he finished his speech, he go to Abuja straight. He's the chairman of Progressive Governor Forum, who nominated the current APC chairman. So somebody that was nominating APC chairman to take over, if people were dying. That's him yesterday. So you now ask yourself, all the billion we are spending in security, both the state, the local government, and the federal, where is the intel? Because those guys did not stay where they killed them. There was a movement from where they live to where they went to commit the crime. There was no police checking points, no military checking points among those houses. There was no community they could pass by. So, for me,
in a nutshell, are you saying there must be scapegoats?
There must be a scapegoat.
Deterrent in order to ensure that this stops.
The governor needs to sit down to do his job. The governor is the chief security officer of his state, not the Tinubu. The governors need to sit down to do their job. After all, they collect security vote that nobody knows the figure. It's only everyone that knows. Right. What are they doing with it? Those money was made to to get intel and how to deal with something before they happens.
Okay, so we are wrapping up, sir.
Yeah, for me, Opus or Dima should go and get those people that commit such a crime and hand over there to the federal government for prosecution.
Okay, that's a safe place for us to land. You've been brilliant today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, madam.
All right, so I've been speaking with Frank Ayala. He is a banker and a public affairs analyst. You're still watching VOP TV. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now stream TV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating
Welcome back. Now, the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted bail in the sum of 20 million naira to Adefowora Abiodun, a promoter of crypto bridge exchange with two sureties in Likesum. In his ruling, Justice Mohammed Umar ordered that the sureties must own landed property worth the bail amount within the court's jurisdiction. The judge also directed the prosecution to verify the sureties' residences and adjourned the case to November 3 for the commencement of trial. Now, away from legal matters, the Semi-Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has made record seizures of 4,119 bags of 50-kilogram foreign parboiled rice being smuggled into the country in 5 trucks along the Lagos-Abidjan corridor over the past 2 weeks. Speaking at a news conference, the area controller Ben Oramalugo, revealed that the seized rice and the trucks used to transport them have a combined duty-paid value of 919.5 million naira. He added that the operatives also intercepted and seized 250 bales of second-hand clothing, 898 parcels of cannabis sativa, 40 bags of 50-kilogram sugar, and 64 bags of 50-kilogram flour, among other items, bringing the total duty-paid value to 1.26 billion naira.
Imagine having a 5 trucks like this. We have one at the scanning because that one spoiled. You cannot. I don't know what happened to the engine. Yeah, you cannot pack it. Then we have 3. Yeah, we have upgraded one here. You can imagine if they allowed the whole of these trucks to enter into the market. That means the local industry, the local milling industry will just collapse. So the federal government has a reason for banning this rice, and we decided to seize them. And we are warning those smugglers that they should stop bringing them into the border. So it will never happen under my watch. They are like this.
From the unapproved route?
Yes, unapproved route.
Coming into the country?
Yes.
Okay.
For the past 2-3 weeks, we have been monitoring this. We had intelligence, and we sat down. We are mapping out on how we'll arrange it.
Well, the controller warned about the economic consequences of rice smuggling into Nigeria and cautioned against attempting to smuggle goods through the semi-border route.
Products. You are transferring employment to those foreign countries. Nigerians spend about $2.2 billion every year importing rice from Asia. Some they will smuggle to Benin Republic. 90% of the rice that come into Benin Republic and they are destined for Nigeria market. They normally try to smuggle them in. So what we try to do, we try to arrest them, to seize them, and that is exactly what we are doing. As we go on, I just deliberately decided not to offload these ones, so that Nigerians will see them in their proper perspective, and that is exactly what we are going to do. By seizing this right, we are telling them that Seme corridor is not a federal grant to operate, and also to disabuse the minds of Nigerians that smuggling of rice is equivalent with some border. It is not true. Every day here we sacrifice everything. My men, officers and men are sleeping in the bush every day to make sure that this rice doesn't come in.
But health matters now. Nigeria has marked a significant milestone in its effort to strengthen cancer care infrastructure and improve access to specialized treatment. This follows the official commissioning of the newly completed Oncology Center at the University of Benin.
Nigeria has marked a significant milestone in its effort to strengthen cancer care infrastructure and improve access to specialized treatment. This follows the official commissioning of the newly completed Oncology Center at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital in Edo State. Speaking at the event, representatives from the Ministry of Health emphasized the importance of the facility in addressing the growing burden of cancer in Nigeria, noting that the UBTH Oncology Center is equipped with modern diagnostic and treatment technologies capable of saving thousands of patients annually.
This has been a promise delivered. In 2 years, we've embarked on a landmark transformation on Nigeria's health sector. We've delivered now 3 world-class oncology centers, with the one here in Benin as the 3rd one, and 3 others well advanced, money identified, budget appropriated, arrangements made in Zaria, Jos, and in Lagos. Additional ones in Maiduguri. Next week will be commissioned, not through NSIA, UCH, through a PPP. So there are others. So the whole infrastructure landscape for health sector is changing in our eyes.
In his remarks, the Chief Medical Doctor of UBTH, Professor Darlington Obasike, commended the federal government for its investment and he reiterated the hospital's commitment to delivering high-quality, patient-centered cancer care.
Today's event marks a milestone. It's going to bring succor not just to the indigenes of Edo State. As we all know, UBTH is a referral center for all the states in the South-South region. So the access to care, to cancer care, oncology care, the journey to the medical journey and the financial application is going to be reduced with this.
Delivering a goodwill message on behalf of Governor Monday Pueblo, Deputy Governor Dennis Idawusa acknowledged the Honorable Minister of Health and affirmed that the project is not only for Edo State, but also intended to serve the 6 South-South states and other regions across the country.
For us in South-South, the project we are commissioning today is not restricted to Edo State alone. It's for the 6 states of the South-South region. And we want to say thank you, Mr. President.
In Benin, Brother Johnny, UOP TV News.
Well, Rhoda, thank you. Now on the foreign scene, the United Nations and humanitarian agencies have warned that Gaza is running out of specialized food needed to save malnourished children. UNICEF's Salim Owais highlighted the rapidly increasing rate of child malnutrition. He said the agency faces a dire shortage of therapeutic supplies with only 3,000 cartons left, enough to treat just 3,000 children. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization's malnutrition prevention program may have to halt as it runs out of nutritional supplements. Additionally, Save the Children has been unable to bring in supplies since February. And away from that impending horror, Thailand has called for a peaceful resolution to its deadly border conflict with Cambodia, emphasizing a preference for bilateral dialogue. However, the country remains open to involvement from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations if necessary. Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman Balakura said the situation on the ground has slightly improved, though clashes that began on Thursday have resulted in casualties. The 818-kilometer border between the two neighbors has long been a source of tension, with disputes over demarcations drawn in 1907 during French colonial rule in Cambodia. Well, in international trade matters, the President of the European Union, Ursula von der Leyen, is set to meet with United States President Donald Trump on Sunday to discuss trade, as Trump predicts a 50-50 chance of reaching a deal ahead of a private visit to the UK, where she will also meet Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Trump told reporters at the White House that he sees equal odds of securing a trade agreement with the EU. In a post on X, von der Leyen said that following a positive phone call with Trump, both leaders agreed to meet in Scotland on Sunday to discuss transatlantic trade relations and ways to maintain strong ties. Well, in business news, Lagos nightlife has been ranked among the best in the world and second in Africa, just behind Cape Town, South Africa. That's according to a new report by Time Out magazine, which revealed that 79% of Lagos residents gave the city's nightlife a positive rating. The report also shows that Lagos outranked other popular African destinations, including Cairo in Egypt and Marrakech in Morocco, which came in third and fourth respectively. Globally, Las Vegas topped the list, with the magazine noting its shift toward more low-key nightlife in recent years. Well, sports news is next. Well, in sports news, President Bola Tinubu has approved the full payment of match bonuses and allowances for the Super Falcons. The team is preparing for the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations final against Morocco's Atlas Lionesses. Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, disclosed this during an interactive session with newsmen, saying all entitlements have been disbursed for immediate payment to the players and their officials. He added that the move is aimed at boosting the Super Falcons' morale ahead of the crucial clash with Morocco. Well, entertainment news is next.
Welcome to the entertainment news. Nigerian singer Fireboy DML has released a new single titled Dopamine, his first official release of the year. In Dopamine, Fireboy explores a deep craving for intimacy and emotional highs, singing about his euphoric feeling that comes with love. The single follows...
But in a recent live session with fans, Speed Darlington brushed off the comment, claiming he doesn't even know who CDQ is. Elsewhere in entertainment, Hollywood stars, Oscar-winning directors, Asian heavyweights, and European authors are set to compete for top honors at this year's Venice Film Festival, kicking off the start of award season in style. Running from August 27 to September 6, the 82nd edition of the world's oldest film festival promises a standard lineup from psychological thrillers, art house dramas, to documentaries and major studio productions. A-listers expected to grace the Venice Lido red carpet include Julia Roberts, Emma Stone, George Clooney, Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, Andrew Garfield, Oscar Isaac, Kate Blanchett, and Amanda Seyfried. On the director's front, U.S. filmmakers Catherine Bigelow, Jim Jarmusch, John Baumbach, and Benny Safdie will debut new projects alongside top European names like Yorgos Lanthimos, Paolo Sorrentino, Laszlo Nemes, and Asia Park Chan-wook and Shuki. And that's it on the entertainment segment. I'm Oyinda Mola Olukutan. Thanks for staying with us.
Well, that wraps it up for us on news. But before we go, a quick look at the headlines. We told you that the presidency has replied Kwankwaso and says North not neglected. The federal government also denies raising GSS1 minimum age to 12. Tinubu receives class of 1999 girls in Asu Villa. Ecodisco announces 25-day blackout in Lagos. And gunmen attack Imo villages and many feared dead. China probes Nigeria's alleged abandonment in CAR. On the foreign scene, Gaza running out of food for malnourished children. Well, in business news, Lagos ranks second in Africa for nightlife. And in sports news, Tinubu approves of full bonuses for Super Falcons. In the world of entertainment, Fireboy seeks intimacy and dopamine. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. Well, I am Vivian Oguche, and thank you for watching.